Hello, this is Jake or Spouts from the Arctic Action YouTube channel. We are here covering Mindcrack UHC Season 29, Episode 7, the newest one. That's right, the one uploaded yesterday. There's some very interesting stuff that we're going to get into today, and of course, we're going to get into it with Danny.
Hey guys, your favorite underwear salesman here, Captain Jesus. We're gonna break down episode 7 of UHC
That is
season
right.
29 from Mindcrack.
And
And unlike last episode, we are not alone.
yes, we have a guest this time. His pinky is doing just fine. Please welcome Maximum50.
Hello, my pinky's wonderful. Thanks for pointing it out.
Yeah, we got a lot of hurting pinkies in this episode. So before we get into the teams, I'm just gonna say that if you want to hear us talk about a specific thing in this episode, there will be timestamps in the description for when we change subjects. Other than that, we thank you for tuning in the entire episode through. Let's just jump right into it.
Let's just jump right into it. A bit of a different start here. I think we're gonna start with BDSM.
Yes, usually our closing team is gonna be the starting team, and not for good reasons.
Yeah. Whew. I'd say this episode is a bit of a setback for them.
They're definitely in lower standings from when we power ranked them last time.
Yeah.
Kind of below third.
Right off the back, they right off the back of last episode, they're shifting in a cave. They know that there's green team above them, and they're not in the best positions here. Jake, you want to take us through this?
Yes, so they're just packing up their enchanting stuff and they're going out to the surface. They know green team is above them, partially due to a creeper blast, but they knew beforehand that they were there. And so they're kind of separated in this cave. They already forgot their way through. Classic Beef. As he finds his way up on the surface, though, this team is separated. Nebris was waiting above the cave for them. They saw their name tags go up. He throws a poison potion, hits Beef hard, partially gets dire. They both retreat back into the cave as Seth is still going upward and will reach the surface alone.
Just a little bit there. He gets Seth as well with the poison. He gets all three of them. Direct impact on Beef gets Seth with most of the potion. He's close to it, and then Dire is hit by tail end of the splash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a really good hit.
We have been talking about the poison potion in the previous episode, and the timing here really, the extended form of the potion really takes effect for this team here, as Beef tries to eat a golden apple while poisoned, taking away a lot of his healing, leaves him ultimately at half a heart.
And not a smart move to eat a golden apple while having like a full minute of poison on you.
Not the best.
Yeah. Now, Max, I don't know if you're a nether person at all. I know you do play a decent amount of UHCs, but
Here and there, yeah.
what type of poison potion are you most likely to make? Extended or poison 2?
I mean, I think the extent. I mean, it's difficult because they both are made differently, and they both have their positives and negatives. With the poison 2 one, it is a lot shorter, so sometimes you want to have it be a more impactful hit, but just not last as long. Other times you want it to drag out so they can't heal. If my memory holds up, I believe it is easier to make the maybe extended. I don't recall which one takes the dust or not.
I mean, it's a bit of a preference there. I believe they do the same amount of damage. It's just
Yeah.
the
One
duration.
is the duration, and one the bigger tick,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one's better if you're in, like, the poison 2 is definitely better if you're engaging in combat directly after.
Yes,
But
that's
the way they used it. They had the right type of poison.
yeah. For them, it worked out. Yeah.
Yeah, they were very lucky. I know Beef was kind of annoyed at that hit. So Seth gets up and he finds the entire green team by himself. So while trying to 3v1 it like the hero he is, he obviously has to retreat to team up with the rest of his team. It retreats right into a couple skeletons and witches on the surface because it's still raining at this point. This is not Seth's episode, because as he's retreating, the 3 green people, yeah, they follow him.
It's a bit of a chase here. I believe there's a speed 2 involved, or not speed 2, but a speed potion involved, in which Green team chases Seth down. He's engaging in a battle with one of them. He's about to charge in, and then pop.
Right from behind, in the back of the head.
Shot by Nebris.
Fairly anticlimactic.
Yeah, he just pops out of existence. Yeah, we got Seth Bling being the Iron Man and First Ed. Nebris picks up First Blood on that one. The rest of the team, not sure what to do. They tried to surface to aid Seth, but they were a bit late, so they decide to run away from Green Team and right into other people.
Yeah, they're gonna come up over over a small hill here, and they're gonna get ambushed by the Purple Team GOB2.
Yes.
And they don't last long in this fight.
Yeah, they're already one person down. Gob2 taking a brilliant performance against Orange, a performance that we didn't think would be so clean on their part. Orange, though, because this is their segment, yeah, they didn't last long, and the dogs didn't do well either. I mean, like, nothing went well for Orange Team. I know they all died this episode, spoiler, but
yes.
yeah, but even when they were dying, it was just constant strokes of bad luck.
Yeah, just a bit of a mark here. 450. That's when Seth's gonna get shot by Nick. Beef's gonna go down. He was at half a heart, so he wasn't gonna last long in combat. He's gonna go down at 5 minutes 51 seconds into the episode, shot by Brayon. And at 6:13, Orange Team falls completely as Dyer gets slain by Good. Now, again, not their episode, but it's not impossible to. Oh wait, come back, huh?
Yeah. So for the first time this season, we can say a team has been eliminated. They were fun to watch, but we didn't get to watch them for long enough, or at least as long as the other teams.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of a team that actually survived this episode, let's move on to Gob2.
Yeah, GOB2, this is a great episode for them. Right off the bat, they're going to be rising up from their cave. They're going to spot Seth rushing across the desert. But they're not going to engage on him because they see multiple guys chasing him, and they don't know if that's the full team or not. And they keep to their spot, and it ends up working out very well for them.
Yeah, Goose suggests being strategic, and that's what they did. So they witnessed Seth's death, very tragic indeed. So what they do now is that, okay, now that their team is one person down, now they're going to start going in until they see two other people running toward them. So they stay at their hill and let the two remaining Orange Team members come to them instead, which they do, and very luckily for Gob2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to come in. They're going to easily take out the half-heart Beef and I believe the 4 or 5-heart Dyer gear. They're going to upgrade their weapons. They're going to upgrade their armor, putting themselves into a really good position here. Full Prot 2, iron for them. I believe a little bit more for some pieces. They get an apple. They get 5 gold. Good and Chad both have sharpness 1 diamond axes. Briona sharpness 2 diamond sword. And they're going to sleep twice, actually, in this episode.
Yeah. I want to point out that the only real people to take damage in that fight was Good, and it wasn't a lot either.
Yeah, I believe he takes 1 bow shot from Dyer, or maybe he takes a couple dog hits.
I think the dogs did a heart in total.
Yeah. But they're sitting pretty right now.
But that just
honestly,
I'm sorry.
Very, very, very good, I think, strategic move for them to wait and then pounce them because they got a lot of gear off of it and took virtually no damage. So they definitely benefited a lot from that encounter.
Yeah, so after that fight is when they dig down into the hillside and wait for morning, and that's where we see them gearing up. They sleep twice, and there's a very...
In 3 beds, I'll add.
Yeah, they're living comfy, maybe too comfy, because there's this one moment that will keep me up and Good at night. Good scrolls over an iron helmet in his inventory. Projectile protection 3. Good's like, yeah, you know what? I don't need this. Throws it in the trash can.
Throws it in the bin.
What, normal Prot 2? That is good enough.
Yeah. The only real big mistake for this team here, that prod that's gonna come in. That would have came in handy, I believe, in future fights, especially if they're trying to keep at range with their bows. Seeing as that's how they went about fighting Orange Team. Yeah, not the best move for them.
So in this hole, a lot of good stuff happens. Chad gets a sharpness 2 for Brion or Brion. I don't know. I think I heard somewhere that Brion is actually the incorrect way to pronounce it, but as much as I know, so you might be right. I don't know. So the other two team members get Orange's diamond axes that they dropped. And does Good sell underwear?
He does mention that he sells underwear in this episode.
I don't know. Did he mention that he sells underwear, or was it just like something else?
Was it just a mention of underwear?
There's definitely a mention of underwear and the selling of it. we checked his merch shop for our viewers at home, and I'm sorry to say he does not sell underwear.
At least that is on his homepage.
Yeah. Maybe from
no underwear sales in public. In private, maybe it's another story.
You gotta message him.
Slide into his DMs, maybe.
Yeah.
You gotta meet him out back in dark.
At around 2 a.m., if you ask for it at the right time, he might supply. But we can't confirm that. So
cannot confirm.
Yeah, none of us have had the option to.
Yeah. One thing we can confirm here, it's a great episode for Green Team, the Babysitters here.
Oh, that was smooth, much like Green Team's episode. Oh!
I see you, man.
Yeah, so they're starting this episode crouching above BDSM, which stands for Beef Dyer and Seth in Minecraft. I'll remind you every time.
You don't want to get this video flagged.
Yeah. So they have a creeper explode on Pack Rat. No damage taken, but this team is kind of rustled about that. They're like, oh no, now they know they're here. But except Orange Team did know they were there the whole time. Nevers hears dogs, and they see him coming up. That's when Nevers throws a very well placed poison potion right on top of Beef, and
yeah. They end up chasing the rest of the team down. Well, they don't chase the team down. They end up losing Beef and Dyer as they get away. Seth distracts them all as they come in. They take him out. They get a little bit of an upgrade here. Actually, there's some pretty big upgrades in this episode. Jay Sano finally gets an enchanted sword in episode 7. Sharp.
These are huge steps coming from Jay Sano.
Yeah. Jay Sano, a character with a lot of uncertainty, as a lot of teams were questioning if he was even active at this point in the UA.
It turns out that he is. I just want to point out how they got Seth down. Pac took a speed potion to scout out Seth to catch up to him, and that worked just flawlessly. So Seth turned around to fight Pack Rat. Meanwhile, Nevers was still catching up from behind. One well-placed bow shot. Seth is down, and that's where they get the diamond chest plate that Jay Sano picks up. So
yeah, Jay Sano gets a diamond chest plate, adding to his kind of lackluster armor, putting him in a better spot. Personally, like in a combat encounter that will probably ensue between them and either GOB2 or Classic in the next episode or two. That's going to help him as he'll be more able to defend himself. Another thing that's going to make them more able to defend themselves: a power 4 bow in this episode.
Now that's a railgun.
Yeah, that's a railgun.
Yeah, just going over all of the upgrades from this one encounter. That Jay Sano, Sharp 1 Iron, Pack Rat, Sharp 2 Diamond, Jay Sano, Power 2, Pack Rat, Power 4, Jay Sano, Protection 1 Diamond Chestplate, and Prot 2 Legs for Pack Rat. I mean, like, that is a huge load that they just took in. And
yeah, it's also worth noting no members of the Babysitters take damage in this episode.
Yeah.
Pack Rat, while trying to chase down Sethblink, gets hit by a cactus and took no damage. A cactus did more damage to the Babysitters than all of Orange Team, and the cactus did no damage.
Does a tick, but nothing actually goes down in his health bar. Probably like a quarter heart or some weird thing there. I guess the armor is what checks in there. Protection, obviously.
Yeah, so now the story is finding XP. Pack Rat turns to hunting rabbits, but the team doesn't like this, as Nevers calls Pack a monster, And Jay Sano's son says, "Ouch," when the bunny dies.
Speaking of Jason and Son, we do get one sad thing for Green here as they lose their greatest member. Jason Son, I believe, goes to his mother by the end of the episode.
Very unfortunate.
Now, Max, if you're stuck on the surface and you're not mining until nighttime, but you want to get some quick XP, what is the number one animal to kill for you?
On the surface, I mean, you're looking for the big. You don't. If you're looking at the passive mobs, you don't want to go for anything too small. Chickens are usually a no-go for experience. You know, they're so nothing. Usually, for me, I look for cows. I feel like those guys deliver big. Sheep won't do you much. Neither will. Pigs are kind of decent. I don't know the actual stats, but I would have to say cows if we're looking at passive mobs.
So, would you recommend for this team to replace the rabbit in their diet with steak?
Yes, most certainly.
Okay, that is a recommendation that they will have to pay attention to in the next episode if they want any chance of winning.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are in a terrible spot, obviously. They need to go back in time and watch this.
They're in such a bad spot that Pack Rat is refusing to mine gold.
Yikes.
Yeah, they got a lot of spare gold here. In this episode. I believe they still leave a small amount of gold in the cave just completely unmined. But it's not like that's gonna affect them. These guys are stacked at this point.
And they will end this episode staircasing to the surface for what seems to be the ultimate battle for justice forever.
Yep. Speaking of Minecraft, we got
they're definitely playing Minecraft.
Right off the
second
bat.
Time we had to say for this team.
Right off the back, the first quote, the first thing you hear in this episode, "Bam, bam, we're the Triangle Gang."
They're gonna get remixed, says Arcus. I don't know if there are any record labels listening in on this, but you gotta tune over to Arcus on Mindcrack UHC Season 29 for some quick money.
Yeah, just the quick late.
So what do they do in this episode? Well, I'm glad you asked. They spend the entire time in a cave. They didn't see the sky once, and they built triangles. One that I believe Cone doesn't know how to build one.
Hey! Cone does not know how to build a triangle. He struggles to build a triangle. But you're missing things here. Hey, man. All right. Bash, he gets a sharpness 3 iron sword. Which,
true.
Yeah, that's something. It'll help, I guess.
Yeah,
enough.
And this team manages to get another golden apple and feed it to Badge. So this team
4 episodes in a row, this team has now wasted a golden apple.
Hey, it's not wasting. This season, they're just trying to keep Badge above half health. I mean,
the goal of this season seems to be keeping Badge above half health. That seems to, I believe they all end the episode just 3 hearts down, which isn't the worst spot to be in, but considering their gear,
they're an equilateral triangle, Danny.
Yeah, the equilateral triangle.
Yeah,
on all sides.
Now, just to show you how good this team is, Badge, while being prepped up by the rest of his team, is completely out of it. He's yawning, he's pouring wine.
Hey, Badge doesn't even need to be sober during this UHC. He's so good at commentating.
Probably
he's so
better
good
that
at playing UHC. Yeah, he's just pouring wine.
They're on the same health. What else happens? I mean, they're all pretty much in the same spot. Cone goes AFK for a certain amount of time. Nothing dangerous happens there. The team will staircase up. Arcus is yelling at everyone. They're not shifting. Not safe.
Yeah, just gonna go back to that wine point. Badge is drinking wine during this UHC. What do you guys like to drink personally during a UHC?
Well, I like to drink a nice glass of orange juice right after I brush my teeth. How about you, Max?
For me, buckets and buckets of water. Just get water all around you, and you might have to hit the bathroom a few times, but you'll stay hydrated. And at the end of the day, what's more important than that? That's all I have to say.
Remember to say hydrated.
Personally, I just liquidate a bunch of Cliff Bars, and I drink them periodically throughout the UHC. It really,
that's good.
Really helps get me going.
I hear that's really good for the body.
Speaking of Cliff Bars, somebody on this team is diving off of cliffs. We have classic team.
Yeah, classic team here. Another team that doesn't get much done in this episode. They start the episode kind of watching a fight here. Would you like to take us through that?
So they get on top of their hill. They say they want to stay on the hill for a while because it's nice and high. I believe Kurt is it peers over the edge and sees off in the very distance, right before his render distance cuts it off, a fight in between two teams he can't identify, but we can assure you that was Orange versus Gob 2. That was after Seth had died, and that was when Beef and Dyer were retreating toward Gob 2. So they witnessed that.
Yeah, which just goes to show, if nothing else, how close these teams are, and what's left of this season is going to be, it seems, packed with combat. Though don't quote us on that. We have said it too many times.
So last episode, I said that there will be a fight, right? And there was a fight. So you know what? We're not jinxing anything.
Yeah. All right.
We're not wrong. Yeah.
The team digs into a nice small hill as night falls, and on the way to that bunker, Kurt takes half-hearted fall damage. That's where the cliff thing comes in. It was not dramatic at all. They wait on the surface level. Their shelter, basically makeshift shelter, till the sun rises. But there's a bit of paranoia here.
Yeah, they're pretty paranoid. They're worried about a team being either above them or just around them. They sleep again because they're not very certain about how phantoms work in this game, and they're just kind of hiding in their little hidey hole underneath a hill for the entirety of the episode. Just incredibly entertaining stuff. You love to see it in the UHC.
You're just bonding moments.
Yeah.
Very wholesome content.
Pals being pals.
Pals being pals.
So this noise that they're very paranoid about, it turns out that it was a bunny, and it just jumps down on a video to jump scare him, and that was that. All right,
I believe we've covered every team.
Yes, we've covered every team.
Into the overall thoughts of the episode.
These are the overall thoughts.
A record is broken in this episode. A Mindcrack UHC record.
Yes. These are the overall thoughts. This is where we talk about stuff in the episode in general, not about a certain team. This record, though, the previous record for the longest for someone to die first, was Mindcrack UHC season 22, episode 7, 3 minutes in. And
3 minutes and 10 seconds into the episode.
Yes, and when did Seth Bling die this episode? We need a number.
It was episode 7. It was 4 minutes and 50 seconds into the episode.
He got a record.
Got a record.
Maybe not the record you want to see.
Not the most exciting record, but a record nonetheless.
Well, it's really interesting. It's rare you see a guy who simultaneously wins Iron Man and is the first to die.
Yes.
You almost never see it.
I was thinking that was a record too, but it actually did happen. Pop quiz. When did this happen? What season?
Oh God.
Season 5.
You're close. I had to go back and watch just to make sure.
Yeah, it would have to be one with a really late first death too, or at least somewhat late.
Yeah, I have an answer.
I don't know. If I did, it would be me guessing. I've watched most of the seasons, but none all too closely.
I remember this distinctly. If you care about me saying it now, right?
Oh, I don't mind.
All right, season 7.
Ooh.
That was the first Team of 2 season. This was when what was it? Anderzel and Doc. They were in a jungle biome, and Beef and Paws saw them, so they decided to go chase them. And they got a couple opening shots on. Beef was the Iron Man. He didn't take damage yet. Anderzel loops around, backstabs Beef below a tree, kills Beef, but took a little bit too much damage, though, as Paws was able to avenge Beef by killing Anders, and later on chased Doc down a cave to kill him, too. That was the story there, and not much of an exciting story this episode. Or I guess it was kind of exciting, because action is always very much appreciated.
You get that poison in play, which you don't see too much.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it was a unique Iron Man, to be sure. And another thing that happened this episode, I don't know.
Well, okay. One thing that's made very apparent, with the exception of Triangle Team, is just the proximity of these teams here. You get Green Team right on top of Orange Team. Orange Team runs 30 blocks, and they're right on top of Gob 2 then. And while Gob 2's fighting them, you got Classic team right above them, just watching it with their
And you got Triangle
popcorn out.
building triangles.
And Triangle building triangles. I mean, hey, Triangle, they're a long shot to win it, but with this passive approach here, and the other three teams in very close proximity to each other, you can't really count them out of this UHC.
Yeah, no, not really.
I mean, if the other teams damage themselves, if two God Apples get eaten in these next couple episodes, I mean, I guess there's a shot. There's a chance.
Yeah,
it's a slim one.
I really like how this fight played out. Is that Sethblin got separated from the rest of his team, so he ran across the desert, and that distracted Green Team enough, so they all chased Seth, allowing Orange Team to escape into another team. That is the overall story of that fight. If you weren't around to listen to the team's perspectives. So this fight, the aftermath though, was amazing. I mean, not BDS. Gob 2, they got diamond armor pieces. I think, or no, diamond weapons.
No, they got upgraded armor and diamond weapons.
They got a lot more gear. Green Team now has diamond armor. There are a lot less things that are making teams stand apart. Something that wouldn't have been said 2 episodes ago. Pretty much every team except Triangle has diamond armor. I would say Gob 2, but they have really high level iron armor.
Mm-hmm.
You get the kind of the eye of the hurricane, if you will, at the end of this episode, where all the teams are like about to resurface, and you don't know quite what's going to happen, but you get the feeling there's going to be a fight again in the next episode, just based on proximity.
I believe by the end of episode 8, the world border would have closed into 0-0. So I think that's what I read. I could be wrong.
Well, we'll see. Obviously, with episode 8, it's got to be an interesting one. I mean, I would hope at least.
It seems like there really is just so much that's being set up that at some point it will just explode, I think. With everybody in hiding, they're going to have to come out at some...
Yeah, you kind of hope that it's like a 4-team bloodbath.
You would hope so.
That would be amazing to watch.
Yes. The ultimate climax.
So who is going to win? We definitely have our thoughts in the power rankings. This is who we think will win, not necessarily who we are rooting for, who we see as the top contender. Number 1 spot, what do you guys have?
Seeing how well that first poison play works for them, seeing as they don't use the God Apple, seeing as they're all alive, seeing as God, they just never seem to run out of luck. As much as I put this off, I gotta put Green in the number 1 spot.
Yeah, you've been putting it off for quite a while, but thank you for joining me here. Max, what about you?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to, just going by what I've seen and what I think they could pull out, and as far as the gear they were able to swipe, I really think that right now I'm gonna put Gob 2 up at number 1, just because I think that the gear they were able to get, and they are in hiding, they still have healing on them. I think they could pull it out. I'm not sure if they're on top of the world, but I think the playing field is kind of even enough that it's a little hard to predict with full certainty. But that's my number 1 play.
Yes, I want to take you through the advantages of Green Team though, but I like your
Yeah, I don't want to spoil my number 2, but that is my dark horse pick. I don't want to go with just the numbers,
Yeah. So the thing is that they took down 1 person and took 0 damage. The only damage they took was from a cactus, and it wasn't even calculated. They lost 2 poison potions and 1 speed potion. They didn't even use any healing at all, including notch apples or health potions. They now have diamond chestplate on Jay Santa, who is available to play. And yeah, I mean, this team, I wouldn't necessarily call it luck at this point, because it is such a trend of Green Team dominating the competition.
That's true.
Then I mean, second place, I'm gonna put Classic Team here. You get the God Apple. You got the upgrade. I believe the best armor still in the UHC with their 2 people with diamond and the 1 with the Prot 3 iron. I don't know. I like them. I like their kind of slow tactical play here. It's fitting with how the season's going, rather than other teams like Green, who have been just kind of rampaging ahead. And you saw how it worked for Orange, kind of as they were they were looking like the aggressor. Green, now that they're being the aggressor, Classic the more laid back sort of wait for the fight to come to you team. I'd say they're a very close second to green.
But your second pick?
I'm gonna give to the Green Babies, just because when I didn't put them at number one, it's not that I don't have confidence, but more that I do think they have the right stuff, and I think as far as power, they've got power. They've got especially the potions. I think are the biggest thing they have going for them. The gear that they've recently been able to accumulate, and yeah, they hit it off pretty well in this episode, anyways. As far as the combat they did have, they were successful. So I could see him doing well, and why not? I'll root for him. I'll put him in a nice silver medal.
In my second position is definitely going to be a shock. I'm putting Gob 2. And not necessarily because of their well-being. Well, I mean, that is a huge part of it, but partly also because of just I don't feel too good about other teams doing well. This team has already seen action. They've already got 2 kills. The 2 kills didn't affect them negatively because the health they lost, they were able to get back through a picked up healing. What they did do is get a lot of gear from that fight, and yeah, I said they're already battle hardened, so they know what to do. And Chad and Good both have long histories with this game, and also a long history of winning or at least coming close to it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I have Gob 2. Also, yeah, they're in a safe spot too, with like green close to classic, close to triangle. I'm sure. I don't fact check me on that, but
I believe that Gob 2 is kind of sandwiched between classic and green.
You may be right.
I mean, I don't have like an exact, I don't have a map or anything.
I just know that they dug down into a hill, but Gob 2 is second.
I have Gob 2 in third, personally. With I think they're doing well. I think any of those 3 teams could come out on top, and I wouldn't be too surprised. Obviously, they have the range. They're pretty good shots with the bows. They don't miss too much against those guys. Shields block most of the arrows, though. Healing's pretty good for them. Their armor's upgraded. Their weapons are upgraded. It's looking good for them. Especially if you look back at those first few episodes where they were slow and not very good with communication. They've been steadily getting better with that over the UHC, and they're really looking good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in my third place, I have a classic team.
Classic.
Yeah, and they do have the good armor, although I'm pretty sure Gob 2 has caught up to them in that race. And of course, Classic not really making much advancements in the last 2 episodes. What can you expect? They have episode 5 level armor at episode 8. What they do have, though, is that Notch Apple and a relatively healthy team, but at this point in the game, I just don't trust Kurt, Avidia, or Ko to really they can definitely do a dent maybe if they use the Notch Apple correctly, but I don't expect them to get past 1 fight. Maybe if they find Triangle first in a vulnerable position.
Yeah, for me, I'm just gonna echo that and just say that I also have Classic in my third. For mostly some of the same reasons. I have a little more confidence in what they're doing as far as the gear they have, because it's not bad. Certainly not bad. Again, the Notch Apple that you brought up, I think if they use that correctly, it certainly can be a good play. I don't have a ton of faith for them to, only because Notch Apples in general are a very tricky item to use. You have to pretty much put all your chips on the table for the very right moment, and if it screws up, then you're pretty much kind of done. But I think that as far as power, I think they could play their cards right. I don't think they're at the top of the game, but I also wouldn't put them at the bottom either. So yeah, that's my number 3.
Yeah, 3 would be middle of the road, and if there was a 2.5 position, I would put them in there.
Yeah,
but there isn't. So, but who would I want to put in 6th place but can't? Triangle team. I just can't. I love them. They're great to watch. I just can't find anything that sets them apart in a winning way.
Mm-hmm.
And I know everyone else has Triangle team at 4th due to like elimination.
I think 4th place coming up for me might be a bit of a shock. I'm going to go with Orange team here. They have a few minor setbacks in this episode. They take some damage. All 3 members of their team die. But all in all, their gear, their weapons, I still think they're a bit better than Triangle here.
I mean, they're good enough to get used by other teams.
Yeah.
You know what? Fair pick. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, so anyone else want to add on to the Triangle bash? They don't even know how to build a triangle, guys. I mean,
Yeah, I think that one triangle scene kind of sums it up. If they can't build a triangle, what can they do in combat? That's all I got.
All right.
so I think that does it for us for now. If you like what you heard, we did the exact same thing for every other episodes, 1 through 6. It is on this YouTube channel that you might want to subscribe to for episode 8 coverage, which we might have a guest. Who knows?
23 episodes of this UHC. It seems to be going on forever.
Hey, I mean, there's a good thing though. I really like how this is building up. Episode 8. I said it last time. I'm gonna say it again. It's gonna be a good one. I know that we're not jinxing it because of the fight that happened this episode. Of course, our links will be in the description below. I've been Jake or Spods from Arctic Action. Here's Danny, and with our guest Maximum50. If you have anything to say or plug, now is the time.
I have a nice Twitter, which I sometimes use. You can check that out on twitter.com/themaxfella. Use that from time to time. But you know what? Don't have much else to say aside from thanks for having me on, guys. I had some fun.
All right, and that's a goodbye from me. It's Captain Juices here, 30 Spotters. We will see you in the next episode, and I'll catch you on the flip side, guys.